You're listening to the G-Spot podcast with Bree
and Alex,
where we dive into personal growth, lifestyle, relationships, and everything in between.
Chill with us every Wednesday for good vibes and real talk.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the G-Spot. How are you?
Hey, welcome back, guys. We are on for another episode. Thanks for
Another
coming back.
one.
Or if you're just joining
Another
us,
one.
welcome.
Yes, if
one.
you're new here, oh my God, welcome. welcome.
Yes.
We welcome you. Welcome to the club.
How was your day today?
It was interesting because as I'm on my menstruals this week, TMI, I feel weirdly hungry at random times for the most random combination of foods. It's like Prego cravings, but obviously the total opposite of Prego. And whenever I'm on my period or right before my period, these cravings are weird. Like
Really?
throughout the day, I'm like, yeah, no, it's weird. Like I crave spice and tangy and then sweet. So I'm like, yeah, let me have like some ice cream, and then afterwards, like, let me have some salty, spicy chips, or like let me have a bowl of cereal, and then I've actually done this. Let me have a bowl of cereal, and then afterwards, I'm gonna have like some pickles with like chamoy.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Yuck!
Yeah, no.
I bet your stomach was like, "What the fuck?"
For sure, it was. Yes, it was. And well, aside from the food thing, I was able to relax a little bit from the cramps.
Good.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I caught up on some reading because, by the way, I don't think I mentioned this last time, and of course you know, but anyone listening, yeah, I'm starting a new position with a new company soon.
Congratulations!
Next week. Thank you.
That's big.
It's huge. It's a big change. So all of August, basically, I was so like, I didn't read any like the books that I was reading. I totally just stopped, and everything else was like on stop mode. Like I couldn't think of anything creative. Like my YouTube channel took a hit also because I wasn't able to edit or focus or film anything or think about
take a
anything
lot
else
to come up with like creative content.
Oh, it does. And then editing it and then like having a full-time job as well. It's a lot, but
yeah.
Mainly it was the stress of going through the 3 interview process because that's one interview per week. So if you think about it, most of August was me
just
waiting.
Stressed.
Like, okay, just tell me, like, am I going through or not? Like, can you please just tell me? So all of August, I feel like I had stopped doing certain things. And so now in this beginning of September, and of course, like today, I started also like reincorporating some of those things, like reading, finishing some of the things I needed to do, crossing things out of my to-do list, going back to the gym. So today was like semi-productive, but also I had to like eat crap food and like be relaxed at the same time. It was like half and half because I'm trying to recover from my stress from August.
I know that is super stressful. And do you think that would you say like you're a good interview taker?
I would say interviewee. You know what? I would say that weirdly, yes. Like I have confidence really good in interviews. Luckily though, like at least this position that I'm gonna get, like it's something I actually like to do. So I wasn't really like faking being passionate about it. Like I actually enjoy it. So it's easier when you actually like the position instead of having to fake something. But overall, I think any interview I've had in the past, luckily, I was able to pull through with like confidence. I think it's because like they pick up on confidence, like they pick up on that and like, hey, are you actually into this? Or are you just like, bullshitting me right now? And they can pick up on bullshit. So being honest if you don't know how to do something, because
I feel like I'm right.
Yeah.
And then they go to work and they're like,
and they can't. Yeah.
How do I open up this Word doc? No clue.
What is Google?
How do I save it as a PDF?
How do I save Google as a PDF?
I feel like I'm somewhere in the middle. Like sometimes I can really nail an interview, and sometimes I'm like, I think it just, you know what it is? I feel like I will really nail an interview if the interviewer is giving me like good vibes. Like if
Yeah.
Like if they're like easy to kind of talk to and like, does that make sense? But if they come
Yes.
up and I already feel like, oh
Intimidating.
shit, yeah, intimidated. I'm
For
like, this
sure.
it's gonna suck.
Yeah, honestly, that is a huge part of it. Like if I felt intimidated, which honestly the first interview I did with this company, I did feel a little bit intimidated
It's
because the
hard not
girl,
to.
although I could tell she was like nice, the very first interview I had was a phone interview, so I didn't get to see her face. And it was like the first question was like, "Can you tell me about yourself in under 1 minute or whatever?" And I was like, "What?"
I'm perfect. Thanks. Bye.
I'm everything you want in an employee. Okay, bye. Yeah, so that sort of thing, like it caught me off guard completely. And I actually thought I didn't do that well the first interview. It was the
But you
second and
got
third that
it.
I was a little more confident because at least I saw they had some interest, but it was kind of
Right.
flying by. Like you can tell it was a little bit like, okay, question after question, like fast. It was
Ugh.
kind of fast. So I felt like I didn't have a whole lot of time to think about my responses. So I was just relying on my brain. I was like, please just spit out some
Don't
words.
fail me now, girl.
Spit out some words, please. So yeah, luckily it worked out, but the first one was a little bit stressful.
Awesome.
But yeah.
Well, that's pretty good. Rough week, but you're recovering, getting back to it.
Yeah. Yeah, August was a bit crazy just because of that. And of course I couldn't tell anybody. Because you don't want to
Yeah.
tell anybody anything unless you actually got the job, you know,
Right.
unless you actually got the thing. It's hard to tell people what you have going on. Um, one, because maybe some people don't even wish you well. You don't want people to like jinx you at the same time.
Yeah.
That's a
So
real
true.
fear that I've like kind of developed. I'm like, you know what? If
Yeah.
you have bad juju, or I don't want you to give me bad juju by telling you all my
Right.
aspirations and all these things. So like, I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut until I have something to show you.
Mm-hmm.
That way
I
you
hear
can't like
that.
affect me. So I've kind of learned to do that for sure.
Good.
But yeah, so secretly I was like stressed. But now I'm okay. Now I'm just like, all right, first day's coming soon. That's like a different type of nervousness, but I'll get through
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be fine. You'll catch on. Just
it.
like any job, you'll get it.
Yeah. So, and what did you do today, by the way?
Um, Honestly, it was just a pretty chill day. I just cleaned a bit, did some laundry.
Mm.
We're potty training my 2-year-old. Today
Ooh.
was a fucking success. I'm so hyped about
Oh.
it. Yeah. I got her some toys because I was like, congratulations, you took a poop and a pee in the potty
Give her a
and
toy and a treat as well.
yeah. I was like so super proud of her. Like I didn't have to change a
That's good.
pamper all day today. She didn't. So I bought her like big girl, what we call like big girl chones, like big girl underwear.
Mm-hmm.
And they have like padding just in case she
Oh,
accidentally
right.
has an accident. But
Right.
um she didn't at all today. Like her pamper was
Oh,
dry.
yeah.
She would tell me when she wanted to go, and she did. I was
Wow.
so hyped. Yeah. So
Oh my
that's what's
gosh.
big in my life. Yeah.
That is amazing.
I'm
Congratulations.
excited.
All the
I'm
hard
also
work.
excited. I know. I know. Good for her. I'm also excited to jump into today's What's the Cue?
Oh,
We have
yes.
a couple good ones. Um, the first one, short, sweet, to the point. Here we go. You
Mm-hmm.
ready?
I'm very ready.
Yes. How do I become less stupid?
Ooh, boy. How do you become
Oh,
less stupid? Well, you can
it's
do a
yeah.
nice little Google search.
Yeah.
It'll take you down multiple routes on
Mm-hmm.
you know what? Well, do you have an answer? You can go first.
Okay. I feel like this is
Go.
so genuine. I feel for this person. Like, first of all, I know this person, he or she is probably like, God, I wish
I
like
feel like an idiot
I feel like an
in
idiot.
conversations.
Yeah. But I honestly like sometimes people just aren't aware of the world that's going on around them, or they're just not like
Yep.
up to date on what's going on, or maybe they're
Yep.
just not on social media, on the news, like maybe
Mm-hmm.
just can't comprehend like what's going on in the world. That's totally normal.
Mm-hmm.
But it can be hard when you're hanging out with friends or with family, and then they start talking about politics, they start talking about like world events or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and you are just like, smile and nod like the
Smile
whole
wave,
time.
boys.
You have nothing to offer.
Mm-mm.
And sometimes I can
That can like crush your soul a
suck.
little bit.
Yeah.
It can crush your soul because you're like, wow, like what am I actually doing here?
Yeah. How do I not know what's going on?
Yeah, you know what? I think honestly, like it's a genuine yet like hilarious question. Like I love
Yeah.
it. But genuinely answering this question in all seriousness, like if
Mhm.
you want to feel less stupid in conversations, you should at least brush up a little bit on current events, even if you don't really want to.
Yes,
Just
totally.
you don't have to go into a deep dive, just a little bit. Like what is
Mhm.
trending right now? Like what is, like what is happening
Yeah.
today? Like this month, what is the big thing?
Yeah.
Just because you want to be able to contribute to situations and conversations,
Mhm.
because then, that can crush your dignity if you don't know what's happening, and then you become more antisocial.
Mhm.
And
Like I'm never doing this again.
yeah, you're like, I'm not going out ever again. I'm staying in my house, quarantined for the rest of my life. So just brushing up a little bit on that, and then
Yeah,
obviously researching your own interests too, because then
for
you might be able
sure.
to bring something to a conversation that they don't know about and that you can
Yeah.
teach them. It's all about like people teaching each other, or like just showing each other things like,
Mhm.
that they're not aware of, or discussing, like you said, like current events. Just that's easier to brush up on
Yeah, for
than doing like a
sure.
deep dive. So that the thing that I have trouble with, honestly, is like, like I'm not hip with the kids with like shows.
I'm so
The
anti-hip.
thing that I struggle with that is like I feel so out of the loop when it comes to newer music artists, newer like
Yes.
shows, and like even movies that have come out, because I hate to say it, but like when I watch a show that so many people, like if I give it a chance, when I'm like, all right, I see that so many people like this show, it's a really popular thing, and I give it a shot and it's like awful to me, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is just one less thing that I have to talk about with someone. It
Mhm.
sucks. But I can't
Yeah.
pretend to like it. I can't be like, yeah, I watched the whole thing. I loved it. It was great. I
Yeah.
can't. I can't.
So
If the acting's
tonight,
bad, oh no, I can't do it.
I know. So tonight, before I jumped on here, um, is the MTV, or is it the VMA Music Awards tonight?
Mhm.
And I have
You're like, who's this?
no idea what the fuck is going on. And you know what else?
Honestly.
I just don't know. Who are these people? And some songs are good. Some I'm like, oh, I do
Yeah.
like that. And other ones I'm
Yeah.
like, why is this person even performing? That was fucking terrible. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Oh, I know. It's hard because like you want to be in the loop with those things, but then you
I
also have
want
to
to
be
be in the
like
know.
true to your taste as
I
well.
know, I know, I
I guess the
know.
least I can do as a person is just like at least know who they are.
Yeah.
But I don't have to listen to their music, I guess. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I know
Yeah.
who that is, but I don't listen to them. Like, okay,
Yeah.
fine. Oh, that's the thing I need to work on,
I
honestly.
know.
It's just like a cultural hip stuff that I don't fucking know.
What's going
I'm
on with
all
the
weird
kids
when it
these
comes to
days?
things. Yeah.
Mhm.
I was like, damn, have you heard of Breaking Bad? Like, wow. Came out like a million years
Riveting, am I right?
came out eons ago. Oh,
That's so
so
good.
it sucks. So I really want to train my brain to like start watching more Netflix stuff, or just something that's like relevant, because then
Yeah.
you do end up not having shit to talk about with someone. If they watch shows and you don't, that's like a huge gap in the conversation. So yeah, that's something I need to work on. Faux
I
show.
am a show watcher. I really am. I do like the shows.
I like that.
But I don't, well, I like that. I don't like reality TV. I never have.
Mm,
Like, I just could never get into it. It's not my, except, and
mhm.
this is totally aging myself, but fuck it. Jersey Shore, like when it first came out, loved it.
Uh-huh.
And now, like, I
Wow.
just won't do it. It's just too much. I'm like,
Is
oh,
that where Snooki came from? Wait, is that her name? Wait. Snooki?
yeah, I'm judging. This is me silent in judgment. so judgy.
And that dude with the gross haircut. I don't know.
Yeah.
But am I right though? Those people
You
come from
are.
that show, right? Okay, I just didn't watch it.
Just so you guys know, if this is the first time that you're listening, I am older than Brie. I will say that.
You're still young, okay? You're making me feel like an asshole.
That was so good.
Oh, but honestly, yeah, no. I remember like seeing it running on the TV. I just never literally like clicked on it and watched it.
Good for you.
There were some MTV shows and VH1 shows that I was like, hell yeah, America's Next Top Model, get me on that shit.
Do people even watch like VMAs and like MTV? Do people watch that stuff anymore? I don't. Like
You know what?
There's always ridiculousness on these days, and I'm like, no.
Well, see, I don't know, because I don't have like general regular cable anymore. Like we just use Netflix, Hulu.
I feel like so does everybody else.
Yeah. So, but when it comes out on like YouTube, when there's clips on YouTube, they have like millions of views from the performances.
Really?
But I mean, yeah, at least from what I've seen, like, because I'll see things pop up like trending or like, you know, when things are like, well, yeah, the top videos of the week or the day or whatever. And I'll see them pop up and they already have like millions of views and it was like just posted, but for the most popular artists, of course. But on general TV, yeah, no, because I haven't watched basic cable in a while, actually.
Yeah.
Or cable.
So to sum it up to this man or woman, do some research, develop your own opinions. You know, watch your local TV stations, get on Twitter, on Instagram, on all the platforms.
You know what? Just check it once a week. If you hate social media, just check it once a week. Just see what's happening. Trending.
That's you know, jump into those conversations. Even if you feel like you are sounding stupid, just say it. Or if you're in a conversation, you have no idea what's going on, ask. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
Fuck what they think.
Like, honestly, sometimes I do find myself like, oh, should I admit that I don't know what they're talking about? Or like admit that I haven't seen this? But it's always good to just say it. Like, just sitting there in silence is way more awkward than saying that you don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Or saying something and it's like,
hot tip.
Or saying something and it's like totally not relevant to the conversation and further proving that you have no idea what's going on.
Oh, yeah. You're just going to expose yourself anyway, so you might as well ask a damn question.
Exactly.
Let's just do it. Yeah. And look, I'll work with you, okay? Whoever wrote this question, I'm working on it with you, okay? Yeah. I need to work on it.
We're in it together.
We're in it together, bro.
All right.
Great
second. Yeah. Second. Okay, here's a good one. Do you look people in the eye as you walk by them, or do you try to act like they're not there?
I try to act like they're not there.
Oh my gosh, I'm such a smiler. I look at their eyes and then I smile like a creep.
No, I like that actually. I actually prefer when people do that, but when I do it, I just like I look straight ahead. I notice I do that like. When I'm walking straight ahead. I'm not seeing my peripheral. I'm just like looking ahead, and I don't look at anyone in the eye, and I don't smile.
I guess it depends. Also, like where you're at, what you're doing. Are you on a mission? If you're just like going to the grocery store really quick, got to get these things and head back home. I'm not trying to look at people and be like, "Hey, I'm friendly Alex. How's your day going?"
Friendly Alex.
I'm not like I'm zoning out. I'm getting what I need, and I'm not looking anybody in the eye.
Then when's a situation when you would look someone in the eye? Then, like, where would this be?
Like if I'm at the mall and I'm walking around, I notice someone like looking at me. I'll look at them back and just give them a smile.
Checking
like, hey.
you out.
Even if it's just like we're walking by each other and we
do
just
the eyebrow
raise each other's eyes
with the masks.
Hey, no.
Hey, I saw you.
I saw those eyebrows.
I saw them raised.
Yeah. Although I will say I don't necessarily really love running into people that I know.
Oh, I hate that.
If I see somebody that I don't want to talk to, I will avoid eye contact. I will avoid that general area of the store or wherever I'm at. Like, I'm not trying to get into a convo.
Same. And yeah, no, I feel the same way. I will turn the other way. I will go across the store, anything to avoid
Mm-hmm.
contact.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I feel like any time that I've been recognized by somebody and approached from someone I knew, I always look like shit. I'm like, why
It
today?
doesn't fail. It does not fail.
It doesn't. I'm like, if I look like shit today, I know I'm gonna run into someone.
Yeah.
It's just always that. So that's another thing. It's just I always when I go out for grocery trips and all, I look like shit. I shouldn't. Like I should do basic like dress up at least a little bit, but I don't. And so I dread running into someone I know. Even if it's a family like member, like no, just
Well,
run through
do
the store
you
and run out.
do you run into people a lot? Because
It's
where we're from, it's like kind of small. It's not like
yeah,
generally big.
yeah, that's why it's happened quite a bit for me because it could be someone from high school, from college, and they just I don't know how, you know what? They might recognize me because of my big butt. I have a huge ass, so I feel like that always sticks out.
Yeah.
Literally. And my hair and my ass. And then, because I'm wearing a mask, and I'm like, how did you see me? This is happening. And I'm with my boyfriend when this happens, and he can tell you. And it's like, how did you even see me? Because I feel like a stupid ass when I didn't recognize them and they recognized me. I'm like, how'd you even see me? And this is
That's
the
the
thing, though.
worst.
When I don't look at people in the eye and I don't smile and stuff, then I don't notice who's around me, and I feel like an asshole because I'm like, oh shit, well, I just wasn't looking. I just wasn't paying attention at
I,
anybody. And then they come up to me. I'm like, oh my god, I didn't see you this whole time. Like you were here.
I know.
So yeah, and with the whole mask thing, it's even weirder to me that people will still like be able to
Approach and
recognize. It's crazy.
recognize you.
Like
That's so true.
yeah. It's crazy. But I think it's just the hair in the butt that they're like, yep, that's Bree.
That's her. There
That's
she is.
her. Hmm. So yeah, that's my experience with that.
Yeah. I like to you know what? I will say that when I was younger, this wasn't my approach. I always never looked anyone in the eye. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time I was at the mall,
Mm-hmm.
with my aunt, and
Mm-hmm.
she noticed that um, someone was waving to me or someone said my name or something like that, and I just completely ignored it, and I didn't say anything. I just kept on walking. And I remember her being like, why are you such a snob? And I'm like, I'm not a snob, I just didn't want to engage in conversation.
Oh my god. Wait, she said that? She said you were a snob?
She said I was a snob. And since then I was
No.
like, I do not want to be a snob. I do not want people to think I'm a snob.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I just don't want
I
to
totally
engage in
get you.
conversation. So I
For
try to like
sure.
be nice
For
and
sure.
just
Yeah, no, it's
and
mhm.
approachable. I feel like I want
Yeah.
people to feel like I'm approachable and
Oh,
friendly.
for sure. Yeah, like well when people do come up to me and they remember and they're like, "Oh my god." And I'm genuinely excited to see them. I'm like, "Oh my
You're
gosh, like, I
all
didn't know
fuck
you were
off.
here."
Just kidding.
But please get out of my face. No. When they approach me and stuff, like I genuinely am excited and surprised because I literally didn't see them. So it's not like I was trying to ignore them. The people that I'm actively trying to ignore, I'll usually not end up even being in a conversation with them because I was
Yeah.
so actively ignoring them.
Yeah.
The people that do come up to me or recognize me from across and walk up, I'm genuinely happy that I'm seeing them because I
Hmm.
just wasn't even I'm seeing forward only. Like I'm
Yeah.
seeing a few steps ahead of me,
You
and
need
that's
to be
it.
aware of your surroundings, it sounds
No, no,
like.
no. Well, no. I'm aware of my surroundings in like an awareness of like, is this a dangerous situation? Yeah,
Don't get kidnapped
I
out
am
there.
super aware. But if it's like, I don't know, like I just don't make eye contact. Basically, is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I don't make eye contact. So how the hell am I going to see someone I genuinely recognize if I don't look them in the eye? But if I'm like wondering, is this a dangerous situation or not? Yes, I'm aware of like if I hear something weird, or I see some weirdo walking into a store or something that looks suspicious, yeah, I'm gonna pay
Sus.
attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if I feel genuinely comfortable and like everything's fine, I'm just gonna go in and get out.
Yep, I hear that.
Or I'm too busy talking with my boyfriend too, because we talk a lot, even inside the store. So that also happens. I get distracted. So yes.
Well, it happened. All
Speaking of
right.
running into friends, this transitions
Yes,
into our topic today
it
beautifully,
does.
doesn't it?
It does. It's perfect.
Yes.
Um, it is one of my favorite topics. Today we're talking about genuine friendships and how to like maintain those awesome bonds you have with those people in your life. Um, it is my favorite topic because I feel like I have always been really, really fortunate to have really good friends around me.
Mm,
Probably most of my life. I can't think of a. I mean, I'm sure I've lost friends
yeah.
down, you know, I've lost friends here and
Course
there.
of life. Yeah.
Right. But for the most part, I've always had really good friends.
That's
So
super
I'm
good.
really fortunate in that.
Yes, especially because we're both only children, right? You don't have any
Yeah.
siblings,
No
so it's like
siblings, only
friends
child.
are our family. Yeah,
Yes.
like friends
Yes.
are literally our family because we don't have
Mm-hmm.
siblings to. And we just it's a weird situation because I don't run into a lot of only children.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I noticed that it is a common theme. Like, obviously, we hold our friends even closer than someone
For
with
sure.
siblings because we don't have like another sort of support system. Like, sure, we have family, but it's not the same.
It's not the same.
So,
Yeah.
it's definitely not the same. So, holding our friends really close and keeping the good ones closer
Mm-hmm.
um, is so important. And I was the same way. Like, when I was growing up, I always had a group of friends around me
Mm-hmm.
and genuinely was like we just loved to do everything together when we were super young. I
Mm-hmm.
needed that connection as I was growing up, especially because I had problems at home with my own parents and stuff. So like my
Yeah.
friendships and my friends were my little escape and support system at that age. If I didn't have that, I don't know what would have happened,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you need those people to relate to and speak to. And I was the youngest in my family. So even my family, like even cousins and stuff, they were all
Mm-hmm.
older than me, super older than me. So I literally had no one else in my age range. So friends were like crucial. Like there was no other way around it. Like of course you
Yeah.
need friends. Like,
Yeah.
you need them close and you need a support system. And especially in the adult years, as we're going to get into, it is more crucial than ever to have the support
Mm-hmm.
system around you and to take out the toxic people and to bring in actual genuine friendships into your life.
Yeah, right. And it is harder, I will say, like as an adult, it is harder to find new friends, especially if you're a parent and can be tough, only because your time is a little more limited than it would have been, if you were single or even if you just like without kids, you have more time to do things and run around and grab a drink, grab lunch, grab
Mhm.
breakfast,
Mhm.
day drink, or, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but like when you become a mom, it's really hard to find good mom friends.
Mm.
But I'm fortunate to have found you, first of all. But my girlfriends and I, we all have kind of grown up together.
Yeah.
And so we're all moms and we've all kind of seen each other transition.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, like it's such a beautiful thing. Like that's really
yeah.
really awesome.
Yeah. And so from Arizona, I live here in Texas now. So all of my friends are in Arizona.
Mm.
Um, so it is really sad. I miss them so much. But one of some of the ways that I keep, what do you call it? Like maintaining good friendships with
Connected.
them is that I am
Mhm.
always in contact with them in some way or the other. Like
Mhm.
we have a group chat going. I'm still like involved. Like even if they make plans to hang out or whatever, yesterday was my girlfriend's 30th birthday. They all went over there.
Mhm.
I was like still in the loop. We're just
Yeah.
we're still like actively like checking in on each other and supporting each
Yeah.
other and um here to give advice, here to listen, here for feedback, whatever it is.
Mhm.
I make sure that I'm offering myself to them and just
For
checking in with
sure.
them and being loyal. I
Yes.
feel like is really a really key thing to maintaining good friendship is
It
loyalty.
is.
And
Loyalty is
honesty.
key. Yes.
Hmm.
And like and we all have, we can all have really, really good stories of friendships and stuff. And recently I've actually found like it's a mixture of it's like bittersweet for me,
Mm-hmm.
because as I've had really good friendships growing up, there are certain parts of my friendships that I realized were not that healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, like this shouldn't be this way. It's a little one-sided. And you might
Yeah.
realize that a little too late, but
Yes.
of course there's always opportunity to meet new people, and you should always strive to meet new people. It's
Yeah.
like, hello, like you don't want to be stuck as well with the same people all the time. Like you want to
Mm-hmm.
broaden your horizon. And that's what I was, learning to do, and to grow out of my own little friendship circle, because there were some parts of my friendships that I realized I was, as I was getting older and we were going our separate ways a little bit, I turned out to be the person that some of them would come to for advice. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but like a little too much for the advice part, not
Mm-hmm.
enough for the hanging out part. And I was
Oh
like, okay,
yeah.
now at this point, I'm feeling a little bit used
Yeah.
and a little bit like, why would you choose to hang out with these people when we haven't seen each other in a while? And you're
Hmm.
kind of like ditching me for that. And
Yeah.
then you're going to come up to me and ask me these certain questions, like to help you.
Yeah.
The thing when you do that to someone, I don't care how long you've been friends, and you get to that point where you're kind of just, you're trying to talk to them, but you're mainly trying to get something from them, even if it's
Mm-hmm.
just advice. That
Mm-hmm.
person's gonna get sick of it, aka me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get sick of that shit real quick, and I'm gonna be like, okay, you know what, like this isn't exactly what I look for in a friendship.
Yeah.
Friendship is like, you're there for each other all the time. And don't get me wrong, these people are still there for me in the very, very important parts of my life. Like, if I have family losses and stuff, like they're the people that are going to go with me to the funerals, like it's that
Yeah.
deep. But at the same time, there's that level that has crossed,
Mm-hmm.
that there was a little bit of a how do I say it, like not miscommunication, but just the idea of this friendship that has gone a different direction.
One-sided.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one-sided. It's gone a different direction. Yes, I can still trust you for these deep rooted issues and like things to talk about, but on the surface, we're still not even like,
We're
if
not
you're
as
not
close as I'd
asking,
like. Yeah.
yeah, like we're not going to hang out. Okay, then like what, and you're asking me for things, that's never going to work
Mm-hmm.
out well. That person is going to get sick of it, man.
I know.
And I don't
I'm.
care who it is. If you treat someone like
Yeah.
that, it's going to get
Yeah.
old. They're going to
Those
move on to
one.
different friends.
Yeah, those one-sided friendships are really, really tough. Um,
Mhm.
like I said, I have my inner circle, and then I have some friends I've had, and either I've worked with them or they're friends from my childhood or
Mhm.
um, whatever. But sometimes maintaining those are a little tougher. I've noticed.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, those one-sided ones are really, really hard. I've personally have gotten to a point where. Um, I just can't do it anymore. Like I don't. I have so
So
much
we don't
going
have
on
time for that
already.
shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and
we
it's
truly
really.
don't have time to deal with that.
And I don't. I'm not a converse. I'm not a confrontational person, so
Yeah.
I don't feel like
Yeah.
there's a need to tell a friend like, "Hey, um, why have you stopped giving me attention? Why haven't you checked in on
Yeah,
me? Why
no.
haven't you done your part? I feel like it's always
Yeah.
me. It
Yeah.
just takes 2 seconds to text me, or you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like
Mhm.
I just don't even want to explain to somebody like how to
Exactly.
do the bare minimum of a
I
friendship.
know. Yeah, you're
I
right.
just won't do it.
For sure. It's like, it seems like a total waste of time,
It
waste of energy.
is. It
Just
is.
slowly drift away
Yeah,
from that
exactly. You don't have to
person.
have that awkward conversation of you're being a bad
Yeah.
friend. It
Yeah.
just that person now just gets less of my time and less interactions with
Yeah.
me and less of me faking the funk. Like I won't do it.
For sure. I think that's
So
how most of us should handle these things, is just kind of
yeah.
slowly drifting out of it,
Yeah.
instead of like, if there are things that maybe you do want to bring up to them, you know, fine, but you're not really going to change them at the same time. Like once you have that conversation, things might get awkward anyways, because it's like
Yeah.
things have changed, but you
Yeah.
might be at totally different points in your life where it's really not going to change at that point. Like they're not going to change the way they're acting around you, and you're not
Yeah.
going to want to change the fact that you want a different friend. Like you want a
Mhm.
different type of friendship, so naturally you've at that point already reached two different parts of your lives. And it's always
Yeah.
good to just keep meeting people, whether that's on Facebook groups, like
Totally.
creating your own groups, creating your own
Mhm.
communities. Obviously, even if you have coworkers that like you get along with and stuff, um, take them out for coffee or like do something to
Yeah.
make sure you're
Expand
conversing
your
with other
friend
people.
circle.
Because a
Totally.
lot of us, I feel like, might get trapped. It's easy to get trapped in the past. And you
Mhm.
know what? A really good, I remember hearing this, and it's like people who are toxic or who might become toxic in the future, if they're not happy with their own life, and let's say they are considered one of your close friends, but you're at a better point in your life than they are, maybe, or like
Mhm.
you're happier, is what I'm trying to say. You're happier with your own life. You should really pay attention to who you're hanging out with, because the people that you're hanging out with are going to affect you. If you're happy with your life, they can totally bring you down in like one
Totally.
hangout. It can totally
Mhm.
bring you down your mood, and you should probably pay attention. We should all pay attention to the
How
things that they're
we
talking about
uh-huh.
also.
And how we feel when we're around them. I feel like that's also key.
Yes.
Like,
Yes. Are you
is it
lifting me
just,
up?
yeah, are you lifting me up? Is this just constant like shit talking? Are you happy for my accomplishments?
Mm-hmm.
Those are all things like to keep note of in your friendships. I feel like that's also important. Um, I love, you know what? I love friends who teach me new things too, who
Oh yeah.
grow my mind in other ways. Like, oh, I
Yes.
like this type of music, and why don't you let me share some of my favorite? This I'm talking about like a specific friend here. I made this
Mm-hmm.
friend a while back, and she's just so smart and she's so cool and so funny. But one of the first things that I really liked about her is that when she heard new music, or if she just
Mm-hmm.
has like really different taste in music in general, and
Yeah.
she would always share it with me, like always, and it like completely expanded like my music taste. And now we
Oh,
kind of
I love
like,
that you accept that you're like,
yeah,
because some people are like, ew, what is this? Oh God, like get
no.
those people out.
No, those people are the best. Those are the best kinds of people. Or if they have like a
Yeah.
new theory they learned, or like they heard a new piece of information, or just like
Yeah,
someone
just
who,
sharing interesting things with you, like
yes, I
keeping it
love that.
interesting.
I
Yeah, and
love
that was
that.
kind of yeah, that's kind of the point I was trying to make, because like if you're hanging out with people who are from your past, who are like if they're only talking about the past for
Hmm.
one,
Hmm.
or only talking about other people,
Yeah.
but they're not ever talking about anything interesting, new, or anything
Hmm.
new with their life, and they're just talking shit about others and talking about the past,
Hmm.
that just kind of kills the friendship. Um because you realize like
You're
this isn't
growing
what I
and
want
they're
to be
not. Yeah.
around all the time. This isn't
Yeah.
what I want to be around. You want to be around people who like you said, are going to open your mind to
Hmm.
different things, and like are comfortable with sharing things with you, and like
Yeah.
there's a trust that you're not going to judge me and like
Right.
say, ew, like what is this, and like being all gross and judgmental, like come
Yeah.
on.
And also, I just feel like friendships are so much like relationships in the fact
They are.
that if you're not growing with them, you're growing apart. And
True.
um,
Very
I
true.
yeah, I feel like you can't change that. You can't change someone's path in life and what they choose to do with their time.
Yeah.
It may not you may not vibe with them anymore, and that's fine. Like that person just gets less time. Like I said, it's just a transition out of a friendship. But that leaves room for another friendship, another more friends, who
Hmm.
you do share similar interests with. I've I keep talking about my friends, but because I really do appreciate them and I love them. But I've
Yeah.
been lucky that we're all kind of headed in the same direction and we're all expanding and growing and learning. So it's been really awesome to kind of see them
Yeah, that's
grow
amazing.
into the women they've become. And I look forward to seeing them continue to grow and see what's next for them. So I
Yeah,
feel
like
like,
that's how women friendships should be, like
yes,
supporting each other, not being all catty
yes,
and toxic, and
that was my
like
next point for sure.
yeah, like the toxicity can just like be growing. I mean, obviously it's not just women, right? Like
Hmm. Oh,
it's
yeah.
for anybody,
Hmm.
but it's just when you get in general just a group of people together, sometimes if it's a wrong mix of people, there can be drama real quick.
Yeah.
But if these people are genuinely supporting each other, they're happy for each other, and they're growing in their own different ways,
Mm-hmm.
and they're at the point where they can actually be happy for someone else's success and not
Mm-hmm.
jealous or giving out toxic like vibes to everybody,
Mm-hmm.
then it's gonna mesh better.
It
But
is.
yeah, because it's tricky with groups of people.
Yeah.
um and yeah, it's you're so lucky to have found that really good mesh of people, because it's I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that's actually pretty hard to find nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like this group of people isn't like, there's not those couple of people who are like out to get me and like secretly
Yeah.
giving me bad juju and like bad luck on my goals and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful
Yeah.
to see that.
And um and if you feel like you don't have that support system, or you don't have that close of friendships around you, you need to, well, you need to find your tribe, is my advice. Just go out there, put yourself out there, go to events that you like,
Yeah,
reach out to
takes
people
work.
who you like. If you're on your social media, or you're friends of somebody, um, and you admire that person for whatever reason, maybe their work ethic, or the way they are with their kids, or the way they are
Mm-hmm.
with their own friends, or whatever it is that you admire about them,
Mm-hmm.
get around those people. Like,
Yeah,
those people
truly.
will motivate you into achieving your own goals. So always surround yourself with people who uplift you and who push you towards those goals and your aspirations. I feel like that's really big.
Yes, it is. And well, I wanted to ask you specifically, like, what would be your boundary point where you're like, that's when you're going to cut ties with somebody? Like that moment when you decide, okay, this person isn't a friend to me anymore. Like now we're kind of in frenemy zone, or like we have to cut ties. Like, what would that point be for you? Where
I
they
have
cross the
I
line?
have a few different points. The first one is if they're always in toxic situations, like not necessarily within our friendship, but if
Mm.
they are just constantly in drama, like all the time, there is always some shit going on with them.
Mm-hmm.
I just, I sympathize with those people, but I cannot give them my full attention. I just don't have the bandwidth for it.
For
Um,
sure.
because then negativity, so I've noticed, and then that their negativity starts to like follow me. Then I start drawing it to
Yeah.
myself, or then I'm caught up in their shit, and I just don't like
Yeah.
that. I don't
That's
like
that's how
that.
fast it can happen once you surround yourself with people who don't align with your values anymore or your
Yeah.
attitude. It
Yeah.
can bring you back down super
Mhm.
fast, or they can try to bring you down back to their level, I guess,
Yeah. And it could
which is
honestly,
sometimes what they want, but not,
right. Right. And it could honestly just be like a phase for them.
yeah.
And maybe they grow out of it and you guys can reconnect and become friends again. Or maybe you don't, and that's fine too. I
Hmm.
have found myself in that situation a couple of times with a couple of different friends, and
Hmm.
we've come back and have, been able to kind of move past it. Um, but that's one of them. I just don't like a toxic environment. I don't like for
Same.
people. Yeah, I just don't like drama, and that's not just for women.
Uh-uh.
I say that for men. I've had
Yeah, it's
situations where
anybody.
I've had guy friends, and I was just like, man, you're just always in some shit, and I can
Uh-huh.
not fuck
Like,
with it
dude, life is
anymore.
too short for this shit. Like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
This isn't high school. Like, I'm
Hmm.
not getting caught up in drama. That is not me.
Yeah.
It's just not. It doesn't
Yeah.
align with me or my
Mhm.
attitude or my vibes at
Yeah.
all. I
And
need to be around positivity. Like, I've been around negativity all my life. Like, my family was more negative. I'm like,
yes.
I don't want to be
Totally.
around negativity. Like, I don't hang out with some of my family members because of that. It's just constant negativity. I don't need it for my friends too.
Yeah, I
No,
was just
thank
going to say
you.
that. So for my childhood, it was also very dramatic. And that
Yeah.
led to me being a teenager that was toxic. Like, I will admit, I
Mm,
felt like I went through a really toxic phase in my life,
I'm sure I
where
did too. Yeah.
I attracted toxic people. I attracted toxic boyfriends. I
Mm,
lost friends because I was a toxic friend.
mm,
Um, and so once I kind of set myself back, and I was like, God, this is not who I want to be
Yeah. And you
anymore. Like, I
accepted, you're like,
just,
I'm done.
yeah. And that's really what I did. Like, I literally, from one day to the next, I stopped talking to people who were in that crowd. I stopped
Yeah.
doing certain things. I stopped talking a certain way. Like, I found myself
Good.
being, negative all the time. And I
Oh,
just completely
yeah.
switched my game up. And from then on, honestly, my life got a lot better. I found friends with similar energy, and it
Yeah,
just
like you
has only
find the
gotten
right
better.
people.
I've done a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah. I've done a lot of work to be where I'm at. And so I feel like I'm really careful with who I let around my energy.
for
And I
sure.
feel like everybody should have high standards when it comes to people you allow in your life. Um, but so I will say that. And so another point, so toxicity. So if you're toxic,
Yeah,
I don't want to fuck with you. Um,
yeah,
Another
same.
one is if you are, I'm getting a friend of me vibe. Like, if I start sharing information with you
Ooh.
about, I got a new job, I was able to do this, and I got this, and
Mhm,
I got engaged, I'm having a baby, or whatever, and I felt like
mhm.
a immediate wall
Mm.
like just hit in the conversation. I just feel like your energy shift negatively.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
dang. Well, like one time, okay, but all of the time, no. Like
yeah.
you're not a friend.
There's
Or if you
clearly
hit,
something, yeah,
yeah, or
not
if you hit
hitting
me
there.
up and it's just about you, and you haven't asked, like, hey,
Mm.
I haven't talked to you in a long time. How have you been? But you're
Oh,
only
for
calling me,
sure.
which is basically what you were saying earlier. Like, no one ever checks in
Yeah.
on you. They only check in for advice.
Yeah, if they're only checking in for advice, it's like, "Okay, dude, like, I'm not
Yeah,
your counselor, like, hello, no,
yeah,
like, I'm not gonna do this
yeah.
anymore," and it's not always like that, right? But it's just as I grew up, I realized that some people would do that, and I just didn't catch it at the time or at the right time.
Mhm.
I've drifted away from some of those people though, but
Yeah,
it's and for that reason, just kind of me realizing, oh my god, like this is just not like it's not a good healthy friendship. Like no,
yeah,
and
yeah,
so for that reason, it was just like, like there's no need for me to spend time with this person if they are not willing to spend the time back. And I feel like a lot of people find themselves in that situation where it's one sided. Like,
yeah.
and it's just so shitty that the
Mhm.
other person doesn't have the respect, especially if you've been
Respect,
friends with them for a while.
long time. I mean, you and I feel like we're going through
Yeah.
similar situations because I'm literally going through this right now. Are you going through it right now? Or it's something that has already happened and it's kind of just phasing
And
out?
it's fading out a little bit,
Yeah.
but yeah, probably similar timing.
Same, same.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it is heartbreaking. I feel like when I was younger, I almost was kind of, for sure, I was colder. I could drop somebody, and I didn't have to be a
Mm.
conversation. I just went from one day not talking to you,
Yeah.
um, and then that was it. Like, we didn't talk to each other again. We were not friends. Um,
Mhm.
but now I am more like sentimental and I'm more emotional. So now that I'm kind of drifting away from a friend, I feel very emotional about it. Um, Especially because we were friends for so long. Um, so it is really tough, but like I said, sometimes you you make room for other people in your life. And so I look forward to that.
Yeah. Yep. It's a hard thing to go through because it's you're letting go of some of the past and
Yeah.
who you used to be and
Hmm.
who you thought you knew. But
Hmm.
people change over time, and then you're
They
not friends with
do.
the person now. Maybe you were friends with them then,
You just grow
back in the
apart. This just
day.
happens.
But people change every single day, like with everyone's situation, like it's so different as an
Mhm.
adult, like we're all going through different sort of situations, and that's when it's so clear to you who your actual friends are actually.
Yes.
It
Yes.
actually makes it a little bit easier to realize the toxic behaviors because you're seeing other people with way better, beautiful, positive behaviors. And you're like, wait, I wasn't exposed to this whole time?
Yeah.
Like, what was I doing then? Like, what were we doing as friends that, it
Mhm.
didn't look like this? Like, what
Right.
was this? Was this actually a friendship or were you using me? Or, were you just dumping all your shit on me and me acting like your counselor? Like, I'm not your
Yeah.
free counselor, bro.
Bro.
please get help. Like, if you need help, please get help, and don't go to your, I guess, if you're still friends with this person, don't be going to them all the time and dumping your shit on them.
Yeah,
It's
and
never going to work out.
if you are, at least check in with them, check in on them every once in a while and be like, "Hey, how's your life going? I'm genuinely
Mm-hmm.
interested and I want to know what's up with you. Hope it's all going
Yes.
well. Let's
Yes.
have a conversation."
Yeah. And with long distance friendships, I feel like I'm pretty bad at long distance friendships, to be honest, because even
Mhm.
I sometimes I might forget to check in, and it's
Mhm.
never out of like bad intention. It's just sometimes I'm not on my phone like texting or like
Mhm.
calling people sometimes, like, I'll if they don't have social media, if I don't have them on socials, if they don't have any of those accounts, I
Yeah,
forget
that
to
can
like
be tough.
text. I forget to text if they're not like on Instagram or something. I totally forget to text these people. It's just harder to remember. And sometimes I'm like, oh my God. And I feel so bad. But,
Yeah.
in the end, like, I do it anyways. Like, I check, even if it's been like a few months, I'm like, hey, oh my God, like, we need to like catch up, or, next time I'm in town, or like, I'm going to go visit you, and you have to keep to your word too. Like,
Yeah.
it's so important as a friend. Oh my God. Like, keep your
Stick
word,
keep your word.
which is another point for for healthy friendships.
Mhm.
It, don't be canceling plans all the time. If there's
Yeah,
a pit,
don't be the
holy
flake.
crap, do not be a
Ah,
freaking flake, dude. That is one of my main pet peeves.
yes.
And oh my
Is
God.
that one of them that's like boundary crossed? Like just constant,
Oh, for sure. And it has
yeah,
happened. Yeah. Where
flakiness.
I've
Yeah.
dropped someone who was a total flake all the time. I was like, what is up? Like,
Yeah.
what is it? Some people, and I see memes about this, right? It's like, oh, when you plan something with someone and it gets canceled and you're so happy. I'm honestly not that person. Like, if I plan something, like, I get it. So okay, sometimes I'll have the feeling, but I'll still go and do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes people will feel that way. They're like, fuck, why did I plan this? And they don't
Yeah.
feel like doing it anymore, which I totally understand. But it's the action. Like, are you still going to go because you said you were going to go? Or are you just going to, no, maybe next time? And you do that every time. There's a big
Yeah.
difference in how much I can fucking trust you on that one decision alone.
Yeah.
Because, one time, okay, fine. One time is whatever. But if it's constant and you're
Hmm.
constantly flaking and you're saying you're going to do this and we're going to do that, and then the day comes and either I don't hear from you or you cancel the plans, it's like, dude, when am I
Yeah.
ever going to trust you then? The trust is
Yeah.
gone. That's it. Like, you have only a few chances, for me at least, you only have like a few chances to
Yeah.
to
Well,
establish the trust,
I
because I
mean,
would do that for you,
right. And
That's the
just in general,
difference.
like you make time for the people that matter. And so
Yeah,
if you're
and
not
you're showing
making
me I don't
time,
matter.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Then
that's how it comes off. And I've
yeah.
had fights with previous people where it's like, "Oh, why do you always get mad about this?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me right now? Why do I get mad? Are you fucking serious?" Um, because hello,
You
you're
flake
just
ass
proving to
bitch.
me, because you're proving to me that I'm not worth your time and that you'd rather
Yeah.
like take a nap than
It
go
is
and say what
hurtful.
you want to do.
Yeah, it is
Like,
hurtful.
follow through. You have to follow through with some of your plans. I don't care if some of you are too tired. If you actually want to make a friendship work, you have to put in the work. You have to like go when you
Yes.
said you're going to go.
Your
Even if you're
friends matter.
sleepy, you fucking go.
Oh,
Especially if it's their birthday. don't
you know
be don't be an idiot and
you
like
know
skip
what
their
else
birthday. Oh my
I will
God.
say? I When somebody gets a boyfriend or somebody gets a girlfriend and then
Oh.
you never see that person again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's hard. I have friends that are like this, but they will still check in. They will still talk. They will still like communicate. I just see less.
Yeah.
Like we just will see less of them. But
Right.
I've had friends like once they had a girlfriend, like that was it. Like I never
It's
saw them
gone.
again.
Yeah.
They never came
Yeah.
back. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. So yeah, I just feel like in the adult years, it's just different from when we were younger. Like, we have the control now. We're adults. Like,
Yeah.
take a breather from your significant other. If you want to go like hang out with your friends by yourself, cool. If take your significant other with you, that's also cool. If it's like, in my opinion, like, I don't care. As long as I see you,
Yeah.
if we haven't seen each other in a while, I don't care if you bring your boyfriend either or whatever. It's just like, I want to see you and like we want to hang out together. Like the
Right.
more the merrier. I was never that person to care like, no,
Me
why are you
either.
bringing him, or like, why, like, ew, why,
Yeah.
like, just if they want to bring their significant other, like, dude, we're adults, like,
Yeah.
please just
It's totally
let them do
fine.
what they want to do and don't be judgmental about it.
I have never cared
Um
about being a third wheel ever.
it's just
Especially if I
like,
was hanging out with somebody
yeah,
I wanted to hang out with. I'm like, yeah,
for
whatever. Let's just
sure.
chill.
I literally don't care. It's
Yeah.
just, it's that chill of a level of like, just let's just hang, let's have a good time, and that's it. It doesn't have to be awkward. And for anyone who makes it awkward, why?
Mm-hmm. Why?
Like, you're wasting your time. Just have a
Mm-hmm.
good time. Life is short. Why are
Life
you
is
caring
short.
about third wheel vibes? Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Just get over it. Get
Cherish
over
your
it.
friends, make effort. It's hard. So, how do you feel like what is a way that you feel like you help like support your friends? Like, what's a way that you show up for your friends?
Oh my gosh. Well,
Like, what's a piece of advice you would give somebody like who could be struggling with maintaining friendships?
so if you're struggling with maintaining friendships, I'm going to go back to kind of what we were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Showing up for them is
Mm-hmm.
so important. And I would expect the same back. Usually the problem is, if I don't feel the same way back, then it's like, okay, this is probably not going to work out
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I feel, because I'm going to respond to your messages. Like, I'm going to be there for you, especially like if you are actually struggling and you're not just like trying to use me for advice or whatever. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, like, yeah, I'm going to be there for you. Even for those people who have just asked me for advice, I'm always there for them, giving them advice. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
it can get tiring. And that's why I suggest don't do that to your friends a lot, to dump all your stuff without asking them
Right.
if, like, how they're doing. It's a
Right.
big difference. And it's always a matter of showing up for them, sticking to your actual word, because that is one of
Mm-hmm.
the most important things to me. And so if I don't do it, then I'm being a freaking hypocrite. So I have to
Right.
stick to my word. Also including them in any sort of future plans. Like, even if I haven't talked to them in a while, you
Right.
still keep them in mind, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Unless you really don't want this person in your life, fine. But like I
Yeah.
said, kind of like the long distance stuff, if you haven't talked to them in a while, but you want to remind them, like, hey, I'm still thinking about you, you need to invite them to things. You need to keep them involved in your life somehow. If you still
Yeah.
want them in your life, you have
Yeah.
to remind them and do the work. And even just sending a random message like, hey, I'm just letting you know, like, I really freaking appreciate you and I'm glad that I have you in my life.
Yes.
A simple reminder like that goes such a long way,
Mm-hmm.
you know? It really does. So that, towards maintaining it, like those things,
Yeah.
basic, sounds very basic, but are so important, and a lot
They
of
really
people
are.
don't do that.
Yes. I will add too, like if you're somebody who is busy, you have a full-time job, you have kids,
Mm,
you have what your
mhm,
soul, there are other things that you're involved in, and
mhm,
sometimes you don't make your friends a priority.
mm,
If you have like true friends, they'll get it. But I will suggest like just take once a week, once every 2 weeks, put it in your
mhm.
calendar, put it on your Google Calendar to remind you at the beginning of the day,
Yes.
like, hey,
Yes.
every other Monday, text,
Yeah.
friends that you have not been in contact with
Mhm.
as often, but that you still want in your life, and just make time. Put in like 10 minutes of your time, send out some text messages, just say, hey, I'm just letting you know that, I'm thinking about you, hope everything is going good,
Yeah.
or start a conversation. Just be like, hey, how's everything going? Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
What's up? Maybe
Yeah,
let's
like,
grab
don't be
lunch. Like,
embarrassed, don't be ashamed if you haven't talked in a while, just send the message, like,
yeah,
start the
they'll appreciate
conversation.
it.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I'll even say, like, nowadays, especially with COVID and stuff, and people don't want to go out in person as much.
Hmm.
Like, but there's still no excuse with like not scheduling some sort of hangout virtually. People do
Yes. I love
Zoom
virtual
parties
hangouts.
and game nights or whatever, like virtual movie nights. Like, it's always possible, and that's kind of what can make me frustrated with someone who might not be willing to carve out the time. If I'm carving out the time for you and I have a full-time job and I'm very, very busy, but I'm still like, hey, let's have a virtual hangout, but then I don't get that same response from you, or
Mhm.
you just never do it, even though I'm always inviting you. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like totally different ideas of like friendships we have here, because like for
Yeah.
me it means like even if I'm hella busy, like you were saying, even if I'm hella busy, I'm still thinking of my friends, and I'm still going to be like, hey, you know what, let's just I'm free like at this time, like on a Saturday night, like
Mhm.
let's do a virtual hangout, and I actually mean it. But then those
Yeah.
types of people who, like I said, the ones who are like like in the memes that I always see, it's like, oh, I agreed to it, but I don't actually want to like,
Yeah.
I don't want to go anymore, and so I'm not going to do it, and they cancel. Like, I literally carved out the time for you. And if you carved out the time for me, I would be so appreciative, for one. But
Yeah.
also, like, I would just feel more obligated to show up anyways, because I know how busy you are and you carved out that schedule just for me or
Right.
for us to hang out. And it's like that lack of understanding of how important it is to appreciate that someone's carving out time for you. It makes you
Yeah.
seem really entitled if you're not seeming appreciative, or like if you show up, you know, or don't respond, or like, you know, something like
Exactly.
that. It's like that's just like straight up rude.
It's
Like,
so rude. It really is.
and in fact, if you don't want to go or don't want to do this thing, just say no instead of say
Yeah.
yes and then cancel the freaking day
Or
of.
if you make a plan and you can't come through on it, give that person a heads up instead of like
Mhm.
completely dodging them or just like not texting back or just like have
Oh
some
God.
fucking genuine human courtesy
Yes.
for your
Human
fucking
courtesy
friend.
goes
Or
a
you're not a
long
fucking
way.
friend.
You're not. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry, not
Yeah.
sorry, but it's
Sorry,
just
not sorry. You ain't cool.
if I see you treating me that way, and if I'm carving out time for you and you're not appreciative, or like not, it's not like I want you to show me appreciation. That's not what I'm saying. Like, oh, thank you. No, no, no. No, not that at all. It's just if you say yes and you don't show up, or you constantly say no, then I
Yeah.
know that, okay, you just don't want to hang out. Like,
Yeah.
what else am I supposed to get from that? What else
Yeah.
would anyone get from that other than, okay, you clearly don't even like me enough to hang out with me or talk to me?
Yeah.
What the hell are we doing here? Like, why am I spending time sending you
Why am I wasting my
invitations?
time? Yeah.
Why am I wasting my time? I'm just going to start talking to someone else who actually wants to hang out and talk
Yes.
and do shit.
Yeah, exactly. You get rid of those
So,
people in your life who you feel like
yeah, those are
they
red
no longer
flags.
bring you value, and then you make room for more people in your life. The
Yeah.
universe will send you someone a lot more doper, and they'll vibe with you, and it'll be so much better.
Yeah, have your own respect. Have that respect for yourself,
A
where you
little
know that's not
dignity.
how you should be treated.
Hmm.
Because just like an abusive relationship, you can have abusive
You
friendships,
really
mentally
can,
abusive.
and
So you have to be
emotionally.
weary of that. Emotionally
Hmm.
abusive, yes. So you have to be weary of that. Pay attention to the red flag, so that way you don't end up in a situation where you feel stuck in a friendship or something,
Yeah,
or you feel, you know, some sort of or they've already gotten to you, and like
yeah,
you're like self-doubting and stuff. Like, I just really hope that you wouldn't get to that point, you know. Like,
right.
try to
And
find out the red flags early,
yeah,
as early as you can in
and
your
sometimes
friendship.
this can happen to like with friends who you've been friends with for a really, really long
Yeah,
time, and
because
you have
people
some like
change too. Hmm.
right, and you have some real memories with that person. Like I know it is tough, but
Yeah.
sometimes those people just you just don't align anymore, and that's okay. It's all
Hmm.
good. Again, like it
Hmm.
doesn't have to be a confrontation. You just hit pause and you chill, and you don't have to acknowledge them anymore. You don't have to give them any time or any more thought at all. And you just move on.
Yes, moving right along, moving right
Hmm.
along. And that's honestly, at least from my perspective, those are like my main points for avoiding those types of friendships, and also dealing with those people that like I mentioned are just not appreciative of your time at all and your
Hmm.
efforts, you know, because that is some sort of, that they're just dragging you along
Yeah.
this non-friendship thing. It's like, what is this?
Waste of
So
time.
just be wary of that, guys,
Waste of
and
time
don't
ship.
waste, yeah, freaking don't waste your time. We're on this earth for a little bit, and we
Hmm.
don't want to spend it with people that don't care about us.
Yeah, that's okay.
Period. So
Find your tribe, y'all.
find your tribe, find your tribe.
Yep.
And if you've had any of these experiences, feel free to DM us and let us
Yes.
know as well, because we want to hear about it.
For sure.
But yeah, you know what? These last few minutes, I wanted to talk about some food for thought. I'll
Ooh,
try to keep
food
it a
for
little bit,
thought.
yeah, food for thought. I want to keep it a little bit short because I know we're past an
Okay.
hour, but this has nothing to do with anything, as most of our food for thoughts will be. But after we covered the heavy topics, let's get into something a little weirder. I've always had this thing, and I'm sure, and I know a lot of people probably have this as well.
Mm-hmm.
I've had this thing, and it's gotten stronger as I've gotten older, is that my dreams come true
What?
sometimes. And I have like weird predictions of the randomest things, and they come
What?
true.
Okay. Let's hear. I need an example.
And it is so like, okay, I'm gonna try to bring up the lighter examples because I've had dreams that come true, and they're not like, it's kind of sad. So I
No.
don't want to
Okay.
bring down the mood. I'm just
All
gonna
right.
say that my dreams multiple times have come true, and it can be in the worst way, and that's kind of scary. But I'll just talk about the funny ones.
Okay.
So nothing dark, but I had this weird one, and this was super weird, okay? Super weird. And apparently my grandma used to have this too, where her dreams came true. Anyway, that's besides the point.
Oh.
I dreamt that my mom had a twin, and they were going through HEB together, and I saw them in a parking lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I guess in the dream, they were like walking side by side together. Guess what fucking happens, Alex?
Your mom
I'm
has a twin
sitting.
sister?
No. I'm
Oh.
sitting in a van. I'm sitting in a
Wait,
van
hold up. Are
with
we
my.
still in the dream? Or is this like
We're still.
reality?
Oh no, now it's real life. Sorry.
Okay, okay.
So
We're
that was the
switching.
dream, that she had a twin. It was like at a parking lot, specifically, probably I think it was like an HEB parking lot, and they were walking together, and I saw them from a distance, and they were like they were exact replicas. They were twins.
What?
In real life, this super similar thing happened, and I was mind blown because this was, I guess, when the dream started getting stronger. I mean, when these things that were happening to be
Or
true
more
was getting
consistent?
stronger at this age. Yeah. I was sitting in the van with my mom and a friend as well. We were sitting in the car, I guess, about to go shopping or waiting for someone inside the store to come out. We
Mm-hmm.
were in an HEB parking lot inside the van. My mom was with me, though. She was in the driver's seat.
Okay.
And we see someone walking with her cart who looked exactly like my mom, wearing very
What?
similar clothing, same hair, same face, and she was walking through the parking lot down the center, like
That
just like
is
my
so
dream.
weird.
And I was like, Mom, I freaking dreamt this. Like, that is you over there. Like, do you see that woman over there? She looks just like you. And she was like, oh my God, she does. And I was like, Mom, like, I had this dream. It wasn't even deja vu because it was like a literal
Oh
dream.
my gosh.
And it's the only difference was in my dream, they were walking side by side and they were literal twins.
That's so
In
weird.
real life, I see this woman who looks just like my mom in an HEB parking lot from about the same angle that was in my dream, except my mom was sitting next to me. Oh my
Weird.
God. And so, okay, I'll give one more example.
Okay.
Funnily enough, it also has to do with my mom, but I dreamt that my mom was at the doctor's, and she was like, she showed me a picture, or she had gotten a picture of like her uterus, I guess, like an x-ray or something, and there was like something there, right? And I told her about this dream. I had no idea like about anything. I just had the dream.
Mm-hmm.
She hadn't told me anything. And I told her about this dream. I was like, oh my God, like I had to like be careful because I had a weird dream that like you went to the gynecologist and they found something and they showed you like a picture of your uterus and there was like something there. And she was like, what? I was like,
What?
yeah, like that was my dream. And she was like, I went to the gynecologist, or yeah, I think she had already gone. I didn't know anything about this though. She had never talked about it.
Oh
It's
my
like, I
God.
went to the gynecologist and they literally said that they found something like in that area.
What the fuck?
I was like, what? Like, luckily, like right now, I'll tell you, like it was nothing major.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the accuracy was insane. She had showed me, I mean, not showed me, she had told me that she had literally went to the gynecologist and that they had found something, or they were examining something that they might have found
Oh my
in her uterus.
gosh. But it ended up
And
being nothing serious though, right?
it was, luckily, it was nothing
Oh,
serious. But
thank
the
God.
accuracy of that freaking dream and the fact that she had just had that appointment, I think like a few days before.
That
How? I didn't
is
know
so
anything about it.
weird.
She didn't tell me. Like, I didn't know anything about it. And I don't think she was planning on telling me because she was probably worried, like, oh God, I don't want to like freak her out.
Right.
What in the hell? Like, where does that come from?
Okay, so this has actually only happened to me one time, only
Mm-hmm.
once.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was so weird. It was so weird. So
Mm-hmm.
I was living, no. So I was on a flight back to Arizona from Texas, and
Mm-hmm.
I had boarded the plane. It was a super early flight, and I was very exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
And I went in, I sat down, and I fell asleep. Like right after takeoff, and I fell asleep. And I
Okay.
dreamt that the stewardess came up to me
Mm-hmm.
and was like, "Excuse me, miss, here's your water." And when I in my dream, I'm sleeping and I
Okay.
wake up and I hit the cup with my hand and I spill the water. As
Uh-huh.
that finishes, I hear in real life, miss, I have your water. I wake up, hit the fucking cup, and it spills. And it's the same stewardess from my fucking dream. It was so
Oh,
trippy.
so weird.
And that was the
Where
last
does
time it
this
ever
come from?
happened. I was like, what
Oh
the
my God.
fuck?
Freakily enough, for me, the dreams that stand out to me the most are the ones that come true. And it's like I said, it's not, some of them are just not, like, I don't even want to share because some of them
Yeah.
have come true and it's like kind of sad.
Yeah.
um the ones that are funny, obviously it's like it's just shocking. I'm like, what? But
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely kind of get scared of my own dreams
I wonder
because I'm
what,
like, am I making this happen or am I
like,
just dreaming
how?
about it before it happens? I don't understand how it's working. And let
Mm-mm.
me just tell you one last thing because I don't want to make it too long, even though this is a crazy topic for me and something that I don't share with a lot of people because it's like there's no cause for this. There's no,
Yeah,
I
what
don't,
could it be?
there's no word for it. Like, I don't know what it is, but um, when did it happen? So this was one like a recent situation. This one's one of a fun, like a funnier one. It's nothing too deep or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I was laying on the sofa, right, and I was about to go to bed on the sofa. I was like, nah, I'm just comfy here. I'm not gonna go to the bed. So I was laying on the sofa, and then I was about to go to sleep, and I look up and I see like a spider kind of like coming up near above me on the ceiling.
Oh,
And in my mind, I kind of take a little glimpse, like, oh God, nah, like this, it's so unlikely for this to happen, but I feel like this spider is just about to fall right on me, even though
mm-hmm.
it was literally had the
Oh
whole
my
ceiling to crawl around. It had the whole ceiling to crawl around. And so, out of instinct and out of my assumption for what was about to happen, I get
no.
up. I get up, and literally, right when I get up, Alex, right when I get
Mhm.
up and I get my
No.
blanket because I feel like it's gonna happen, that spider crawls
No.
exactly where I stared, exactly where I looked at, and it fell straight down where I would
Ah!
have been, Alex.
That's a fucking nightmare. That is no dream, girl. That was a
Straight
warning.
down where I thought it was gonna fall. And I was like, what? That's so weird. That freaked me out the whole night because I was like, okay, look, my dreams come true. Sometimes like these stupid little things happen, right? Well, they seem stupid, but honestly, that's some crazy shit
It
because
really is.
the spider had so much room to crawl anywhere else and fall anywhere else because it was on the whole ass ceiling.
Oh,
And it literally fell in the exact way that I pictured it was about to
oh,
fall, in the exact spot.
gross.
How the hell does that happen?
That is so weird.
So it's freaked me. It literally scared me. I was like, what in the hell just happened? Because
So,
it was like I saw it happen before it happened. It was like one of those, like, it felt like a movie. Like, it felt like I literally saw a little glimpse of the future and then I got up out of instinct. I was like, nah, I don't know. I don't know. It just feels a little too weird. I feel like it's going to happen. And I get up and it literally happens.
oh
And that's
my
happened multiple
god.
times in my life. And it's kind of scary. It's just weird.
I
I don't
wonder
know what
if
it's
it's
called.
like, I wonder if
But
it's that you're like secretly manifesting it because you're giving it
that's exactly,
thought
yeah.
that it actually happens that way. I wonder.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. I was like, I don't know if I'm just predicting it or if I'm making it happen from thinking
Yeah.
about it happening, which is both still insane.
So
Because it's
very
like if you can
crazy.
make things happen, because our mind is super powerful. Like,
Mm-hmm.
do you think, that, and I do believe, and I kind of actually want to do an episode on this, like manifestation and stuff,
For
because I
sure.
do have a belief for that, and the
Mm-hmm.
fact that the mind is super powerful. But the
Yeah.
dreams, though, is something different, because I'm not even like, what is that coming? Where's that coming from? Like subconscious?
We don't
I don't
know.
know. Because when I'm awake, I'm actively thinking. Like I was actively thinking, oh my god, the spider! I can just see it above me right now. Well, it wasn't above me. It was like crawling across the ceiling. But I was like, I can just feel like it's gonna fall on me,
Yeah.
and it fell in that exact location. Then I could say maybe I made it happen, like by manifesting it. But in my dreams, I'm not actively thinking about anything.
Yeah, that's so weird.
So how the hell am I? How is that happening?
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
And it's happened way too many times to be considered normal
Or a coincidence.
or a coincidence. And I tell my boyfriend these things all the time, and he's just freaked out because, like, ugh, it's
Yeah.
just weird. It's just weird, man.
I'd love to
So
know if
that
anyone
is,
else, if anyone's listening and they have like similar stories where they've had like a dream come true or it happens like multiple times or some people call it premonitions. If you
mm,
if you're experiencing that, let us know. I want to know how many people out there actually have that same thing happen.
yeah.
That same
I want to get
superpower.
to know the people like me. I want to get to know let's build a community. Yeah, because it is some weird shit.
Yeah, that is really
And
weird.
a little bit scary, to be honest, because it's like, oh, it creeps me out.
Yeah, that's
But yeah,
weird.
that was
That's
my
like
food for
kind of cool,
thought.
actually. I feel like.
Cool and a little bit freaky. And yeah, if you all have any stories to share with us, if you have experiences with this, even if it's just one experience, it's just as creepy and cool.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was kind of what I wanted to bring up, and it's a little crazy, but yeah, it's
All
my real
right.
life, man. It's real life.
Well, that wraps us up for today's episode. Um,
Happy Wednesday,
Happy
guys.
Wednesday. We'll talk to you next time.
Oh,
If you have Instagram, we have an Instagram too. I'm pretty excited
oh
about
yeah,
it.
new Instagram baby.
The G Spot _ podcast. Give us a follow. Give us a like. We only have one picture right now, but more to
But
come.
it's the best picture of all time.
Yes, we fucking have a logo. I'm so
We have a
excited.
logo.
It's very cool. Very,
Woo-hoo.
very
Oh my
cool.
god, I love it.
Thanks.
I
Thanks.
love it so much. I look at it and I'm like, yep, that's the
Dope.
vibe. Yeah. All thanks to Alex, professional,
Gracias. Gracias.
absolute professional. So yes, guys, go ahead and follow us on there, and I will leave the rest of our social links, including our personal Instagrams and Alex's Instagram, in the details section. So go ahead and click that, and yeah, we will talk to you. We will talk to you next Wednesday.
Yep. Talk to you
Thanks for
later.
listening. Bye.
Bye.